We can review from the Ingram Angle segment tonight another controversy that NBC News and its parent company Comcast have to deal with. On December 29th, MSNBC commentator Melitha Harith Perry talked about the Romney family adopting an African-American child.
This is the Romney family,
Right?
And of course, there on Governor Romney's knee is his adopted grandson, who is an adopted African American child, Kieran Romney, and he captions for this one.
One of these things is not one of these things. Does he do the same?
My goal is that in 2040, the biggest thing of the year will be the wedding between Kieran Romney and Northwest. Can you imagine Mitt Romney and Kanye West as in-laws?
Now, Ms. Perry has apologized to the Romney family, but this seems to be a never-ending saga over at MSNBC. Joining us now from Washington, Ms. Laura Ingram. So I don't think Ms. Harith Perry meant to be malicious here, unlike Martin Bashir and Ed Schultz in his comments directed to you. But she and her guests were clearly mocking the Romney family, who did a good thing. What say you?
Like, why mention the race of the child at all? I mean, I thought we were supposed to be beyond race, yet every chance they get, the left has to say, okay, ha, 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 caption here, please. I mean, imagine, Bill, if you did that, or if I did that on the radio, you did that on television in a similar setting, maybe Sandra Bullock's child. Or, look, I have a daughter who's from Latin America. She's pretty brown-skinned. You just don't do that, right? And I don't want to make a bigger deal of it than it is, because I think a lot of other things that have happened at MSNBC have been much more egregious. But, again, it's just the type of thing that the left tends to get away with, especially involving whites and versus blacks. They seem to get away with this kind of stuff time and again, and we've become kind of numb to it. But it certainly isn't helping the cause of liberalism, which I think MSNBC strives to assist at all turns.
Now, the picture that they were referring to with the black child, it was a Christmas card that the Romneys sent out, and they wanted to demean Mitt Romney and his family. That was the tone of the three of them. Now, you worked at MSNBC. See, I believe that this is a cultural problem over there, that there is a culture that either promotes or encourages in some way these personal attacks, because they've trafficked in them for years. Now it's reached critical mass on a lot of different fronts. Am I wrong?
Well, I mean, look, leadership comes from the top down in most news organizations. Roger Ailes sets a tone for Fox, and I think we all try to live up to that. And I think at MSNBC, look, you have Phil Griffin. I worked with Phil at MSNBC. He's always nice to me. I mean, I think it was in the early days from '96 to 2000 when I was there, and it was a different sensibility. It was kind of more edgy than lefty, right? You had a lot of conservative voices on MSNBC at the time. And it was a little bit more interesting back then. And now it seems that as they've become more desperate, Bill, in the quest to make some dent in these ratings, it's almost like people have to almost one-up each other. It's either that or they're just incredibly stupid, which could be a possibility as well, because they're not funny.
They're not incredibly stupid. I mean, they're not doing well. If CNN is and CNN, by the way, doesn't do this stuff very much, but they're in big trouble ratings-wise, and MSNBC beats them by a little, and I guess they feel that this far-left approach they take is the reason why. But I continue to be amazed by Comcast, the parent company of NBC, who owns it, took it over from General Electric, because I've dealt with Comcast in the past, and it's a good company, in my opinion. All right, they know what's going on. They're not. They are a liberal crew to some extent, but not irresponsible. And they are allowing this to. This is just embarrassing, is it not?
Yeah, well, Brian Roberts, the CEO of Comcast, is a pretty big Democrat donor, a couple $100,000 to Democrats, I believe, and 27,000. I might be getting the numbers off a little bit for Republicans, but there's quite a differential between his Democrat donations and his Republican donations. So I think their affinity is to the left, right? But again, I'll ask this question of Mr. Roberts. how is this helping liberalism? If you're a liberal, right, you want an effective liberal. And like someone like Rachel Maddow, I mean, I don't agree with her on a lot of issues.
And I'm glad you brought her up. She is responsible. She makes her point. She believes what she says. She's not malicious. And,
no, I don't think so.
Why can't you hire a few more of those kind of people? Now, make a prediction. Make a prediction.
Yeah.
Is Comcast going to step in and do anything about this network?
Well, I would like to think they would. My prediction is that probably sometime within the next 12 months, especially before the next presidential election, you'll see the swinging door at MSNBC again, and there'll probably be some new faces and some of the newcomers of the last year or so.
Maybe they'll make you a big offer, then we'll have to top it. You know?
Oh yeah, Bill, that's going to be a tough one.
Ms. Laura Ingraham, everybody.
So.
Plenty more ahead as a Factor.